Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing quite a big unboxing. In here are some figures. Some are a bit meh, but some of them are quite cool. And a little spoiler, this is full of Transformers Prime figures, and this is Revenge of the Fallen figures. So, let's crack into these things and see what I got. Just going to start with a small package, just and that's a big surprise. So let's dig into this. So, first parcel had Transformers 2009 Revenge of the Fallen, Skids and Mudflap, and these figures have a lot of flack. I have Skids, he's okay, like, at best. Mudflap though, that's the main reason I got this bundle, because I didn't have them, but they're really cheap. They're okay, that's all I can say. I don't know his transformation, but I know this guy's transformation can be really finicky. But since I have one, I'm just going to sell this guy off, and I'll probably just, like, pay off for this guy, so pretty much a free figure. One thing I do want to point out for these figures, though, that they have this really weird gimmick. So if you look on their chests, right where the Chevrolet logo is, there are buttons that make them, well, if this one works, makes them nod. Well, Skids isn't really doing it, but he's doing like the Yoda nod, like, and his nipples move. It's such a weird gimmick. I guess it's so then like you can pretend that they're talking. I don't know, something like, what am I doing? Anyway, so that's this parcel done. So let's just move on to the next. Wasn't as cool as I hoped it was going to be. I was hoping it was going to go over here and it'd go out of frame, but no. It's different because the camera is 0.5. Right, now for the final and second package. This also came from Vinted. Quick disclaimer, Vinted is just like really good for Transformers. Like, I've saved so much money, but I've also spent a lot of money. But it kind of outweighs the negatives, because if it was on eBay, it'd easily be triple. I'm just going to open the parcel. Okay, so we've got the parcel open, so let's find out what's inside this. This is all Transformers Primes, Deluxes and Voyagers. So, this is quite cool. I got them all for a deal, because a lot of people on Vinted, they are clueless. On eBay, this would easily be like 200 quid. I paid a little under a quarter for that. So, let's see what's first. So, right on the top of the pile is RID 2011 Deluxe Class Dead End. And this figure's been on my radar for a while. This figure has been on my radar for quite a while. I just love the paint scheme, and I already have the Wheeljack. He doesn't have his swords, he only has one sword. And I'm also talking about Wheeljack, because he doesn't have his swords. So this is quite cool. Definitely something I've been looking forward to. So we'll just transform this guy real quick. Alright, now that's him all transformed, and this guy looks really cool. The face, it just looks like he's shouting, which is really kind of weird. Like, just like, really wide-mouthed. But this thing looks pretty sick, and it's not dirty, which is great, but it does have like a perfumey smell to it. Kind of weird, but I'm not complaining, because I've had some gross bundles. Happy to have this guy, so let's move on to the next. Alright, next one is pretty cool and pretty big. It is Voyager Class Predaking. His head is off, but let me just sort this guy out real quick. So after sorting him out, I did notice he is missing. As you can see, he's missing a part of his foot, which really doesn't help his stability, as shown right there. And also, the sword, like, just falls out all the time. But he does come with that, and this, like, weird double dragon face thing that can move and sync. Okay, alright, this is a really cool looking figure. It's like, if you just ignore the foot right there, which I'm just gonna have to use like the heel as like a mini foot, this is actually a pretty badass looking figure. Just all the detail. Yes, there are loose bits. I can probably fix it. But yeah, that's another thing I got in this bundle, so let's just move along. Alright, next figure in the bundle is Transformers Prime Hotshot. Here's a deluxe of Bumblebee. I didn't know the head was different. Like, as you can see, the head is quite different. Actually, can I just... Nah, I can't. Okay. But yeah, the head's quite different, if you can just see in there. Just there. Yeah, his head's different, and yeah, oh, his goggles move. I didn't know that. But this is pretty cool. So if I like this, I'll probably pick up Bumblebee. But I hear this is a good mold. So let me just transform this guy real quick. And after the transformation, we're left with quite a cool looking alt mode. As you can see, the main difference is the head sculpt, and it's got a little feature where you can bring down the goggles. And now he's got glasses, or just a visor, which is pretty cool. Also, the decal just rocks with this mold. It just looks really good, really cool. And you can see the backpack actually doesn't really exist. Like, I put pretty much my whole hand back there and there's nothing. Yeah, this is pretty cool. My one gripe is how like far forward the arm stick. On camera, it looks fine, but real life, it's kind of rough. But it kind of looks like one sticking forward more than the other. This is quite a cool figure, so that will definitely be going on my shelves. So, on to the final item. At least I think it's the final. Yeah, I think so. Alright, so my filthy liar, this isn't actually the last thing. There's one more thing that I've owned before, but I just sold it off. This is the Voyager Magnus from RID, and this is kind of unique because he wasn't this in the show. He was pretty much Prime's truck mode. At least that's what the Voyager was. This bit isn't tapped. 1 minute. Alright, I fixed the grill because it was bugging me, but this is actually quite unique because he didn't transform into this, like I was saying. And this is actually kind of cool. And this is a wee gimmick, and you can push it forward and back, and this will actually turn into a hammer. So let's get this guy in his alt mode. Now with him transformed, this is actually quite a cool look. It looks more like a Cybertronian Magnus. And just for comparison, let me get my other one. This is how he more looked in the show. Turns out he's a different color blue, his head's a lot bigger, and his eyes are green. For some reason, I don't remember his eyes being green, but that is definitely something. But yeah, just for a quick comparison. And for his gimmick, it's this. It looks like absolutely nothing. If you put it this way, it is a rifle, but Magnus is known for rifles. He's known for hammers, which is quite cool. And there is a locking pin somewhere. Yep. Here at the bottom, there's a little blue piece. You flip that up, line up, and then it's a proper hammer. So that's pretty cool. Now I've got in his hands, that is a proper mallet. To the final thing in the video, in the box, so let's move on to that. And the final thing is Voyager class TFPE Starscream. I've had this figure, it's good, but the issue was this thigh. Jesus, that doesn't look comfy. But yeah, the leg was super glued for some reason. The previous owner super glued the thigh, and that's a transformation joint, so he could not transform. So that's a bit of a bummer, but this one seems to be fine so far. But yeah, so let me just get this guy transformed up. Now that he's all transformed, this looks like he jumped off the screen. This thing just looks great. I had one before, again, exact same condition, just this thigh was super glued. For some reason, I don't know if it was broken, but I gave it to sold it off to another guy, and he's fixing his with the one I sent him. So yeah, but also this backpack is like, there's nothing. I mean, there's that wee bit, but that doesn't bug me. And also, because I had the other one, I have his energon weapon, which is, if I remember, spill it out, and his non-ray jumps out. It's a kind of bad weapon. It's just a brick on his arm, so. Now that the haul's over, time to put all these guys together just to fully show everything that I got. So yes, that is everything in the haul. These are some great figures. Super stoked for these guys. Got him just to, really, just got him to start completing my Revenge of the Fallen shelf. But that has been my look at these guys. You can follow me on TikTok at BlitzingSpaceYT. Go onto my Vinted that I'll have linked there. And yeah, subscribe. I mean, you don't have to subscribe, but do it because I told you to. I really need to work on outros.